Life Update 1, Abhiram Chaganty. It is currently 1:26 p.m. and I am in a parking lot near my home, in my hometown. So this is just an introduction video. The goal of this video is to just talk about what I'm thinking right now, what I'm going through, what I'm working on, 2025 goals, and a little bit more. So I think the best way to start off my first video on YouTube is just to talk about, my life philosophies, where I see this account going, what I want to post, right? So for those who don't know me, I'm a college student. I'm a second year. I study finance. And one of my grounding philosophies in life is future children. This is a topic I hold really close to me. I had this realization about maybe a year or two ago where I realized I want to learn a lot of things and I want to do a lot of things so I could pass it on to my kids, all the teachings. I guess you could say, in other words, I really want a lot of dad lore, great dad lore. So that's the idea for this YouTube account, right? Is to make all these videos along my journey, just to talk about what I'm feeling and everything, to eventually have my kids see it. And in the event that YouTube goes away before that day comes, at least they're all stored with me so I could pass them all down. So I guess the first thing to start with that information is, what are my 2025 goals? What am I currently working on? And things like that. So recently, I think it was a month ago, I started posting on TikTok pretty consistently. Now, to begin with, in the very original stages, I had no intention of blowing up on TikTok. Of course, that is the underlying intention of anyone that posts, that they would like to see their page go up. But for me, it was just an outlet of my thoughts. I tend to have a lot of things I'm thinking about, and so I wanted to make an account just based on those thoughts. But then over time, people started to resonate, and in a month, actually, I gained about 9,000 followers. So on this day, it is currently January 5th, I have 9,250 followers on TikTok, which I am super thankful for. And actually, me starting this YouTube channel was kind of because of them, because I got a lot of comments talking about, hey, start a YouTube channel. So yeah, that's what we're doing now, this YouTube channel. And the goal is to post once a week and give these sort of life updates. Whatever I'm going through, just share it on here in long form. I also share it on TikTok, but here I want to give a more insightful perspective to my life personally, rather than maybe give advice and things like that. So things I'm currently working on, I have a lot of music, a lot of ideas on clothes, and I also do school, right? So how am I managing all this? Well, right now I'm on winter break. So the goal, or I should start with saying, whenever I'm home, I tend to be in a very creative mindset. I don't know why that is, opposed to school, but when I'm home, I tend to go really all in on the creative pursuits. So my days as of late have been involved around going to the studio, working with my best friend Reef and my producer, to make new sounds, make new music, and all that good stuff. I also am working on putting out this hoodie that you see here, this Harvard Dropout hoodie. To those that don't know as well, I've been working on this concept for a while now. I was supposed to release it last year, actually, never got around to it. And that's another thing I want to talk about, is I feel like God's timing is something very real. So we'll talk about that later in the video. But my goals right now, like I said, is getting this hoodie out, for sure, getting my music out, and that's pretty much it. Just putting in work day by day, no matter what that means, working on making beats. I mentioned this in a lot of my other videos, but one of my main underlying goals in all of this is just to build skills that complement my palette specifically, not just skills that are known to be good to learn. For example, I really want to get into producing my own music, while I have my best friend Reef that produces a lot of beats, and I also work as a producer with him with ideas. I want to be able to put an idea down from a technical perspective, put them on the laptop or whatever, and so it makes the collaboration process a lot easier. And and then from a clothing perspective, just working on posting about this hoodie every single day. I just made my domain for this hoodie waitlist, a website for it where people can go in. I haven't released it yet because I need to tweak some things, but that's basically what's been keeping me busy. Now, and of course in all this, staying in good mental health, staying in good physical health, and of course, hold on, I should say also, pardon me if I'm not looking at the camera. So on my camera, there's this little visual readout that I can see on the right side. And so if it looks like I'm looking at the right, or if I'm not looking at the camera, I should say, I'm actually just looking at this thing in front of me. So 2025 goals, right? I think, first off, I should say, I think it's very important to have some, not necessarily New Year's resolutions, I wouldn't call them, but just something that you're continually working towards, because I think those shouldn't be limited to just the year. It's kind of like an ongoing pursuit. So of course, staying in those 2025 goals are this YouTube channel, giving these thoughts each and every week. Like I said, my whole mindset is future children. That is, even though I'm an artist and even though I take the creative acts very seriously, I really see myself as, how would I say it? A soon-to-be father. I would like to have kids within this next 10 years, as I'm 20 now. I would like to have kids before 30 years old. And yeah, so you know what I mean? That has a lot to do with that. Now, I wrote some things also I want to talk about in this video so it doesn't turn into too much of a yap. What I've learned so far, right? That's another thing. So the goals of these videos are just to, it's supposed to be very candid. There's going to be videos that you guys don't resonate with that much, and these are all taken on one take. So maybe in editing, I'll edit out some filler parts that aren't necessary. But the idea is that I'm just setting up the camera and talking, and hopefully there are people that resonate with some. There are going to be those that don't, and it's okay. That's why I'm going to be posting these every week, just sharing what I've learned and insights from my life in college, what I'm working on and all that. So things I've learned, right? Personal brand, that's kind of the theme. So for those who don't know, I had a clothing brand before in high school, and the way I went about that one and the way I'm starting this one are completely different, and I think it's a good difference for sure. I want to talk about some key things that make it different. First of all, I would say the initiation stages of both of those are the most different parts. So let's talk about how I started the one in high school. So the one in high school is, the brand was its standalone thing. It was kind of like its own, it was in its own infancy stages. It started with me and a friend I had, and it started with us reselling vintage clothes, and then it morphed into us making our own designs and selling those. Now, the way it's different from here with this brand is I started it from a personal brand. So I've been making content on my TikTok and my social pages, and that's kind of where I'm trying to push traffic from. People who resonate with my personal brand, that's who I want to be the audience of this extension of me. That's the main theme, right? Is this brand is more an extension of me. The other one was more of its standalone thing. And what I'm learning is that that's kind of the way you want to go about it. No matter what you're doing, no matter what you're trying to go into, no matter where you're trying to push traffic to, I think the most important thing is to let your personality shine in all of that. Because really, there's going to be two kinds of people that resonate with your product from a business perspective. It's going to be people that like you, and it's going to be people that like your product. Now, take me for example. There are going to be people that like this hoodie. They're going to love this hoodie and they'll buy it just because they really like the hoodie. But I would bargain half of those people, maybe even more, would buy it just because they really like my philosophies and what I bring to the table. You know what I mean? And that was the thing me and my friend had missed out on before, is I actually tried to remove myself from the brand in the high school one. It was called Pit Stop Vintage. And in that brand, I really tried to remove myself. Like, I didn't want to be as much associated with it and let it be its standalone thing. But in my experience, and maybe I'll go back on this, but really I just don't think that's the way to go about it. Because like I said, when you have some personality that's added to it, I think you just get a chance for a lot more people to resonate with it. And another thing I'm learning is positioning. That's another thing is, so I want to articulate this topic the best way possible. But basically, in the endeavors you want to go into, there's going to be a lot of inherent competition, no matter what. Whether you want to be a food creator, whether you want to be a fitness creator, whether you want to go into a corporate job, you're going to have a lot of people that are doing broadly the same thing as you. So the idea is seeking differentiation. How are you different? And I came up with a good way of thinking about it. You want to approach it, you want to think really hard on positioning. That's the idea. Before I yap and ramble on, by the way, what you guys will see is I have a habit of doing that. Just thinking about things and going on tangents. So forgive me. I'm gonna try to center myself back on track. So, but positioning, right? So take me for example. I work through a lot of case studies. So the way I give examples is just gonna be through giving other examples and just trying to elaborate from there. So me, for example, with this whole artistry thing, there are a lot of artists out there. There's probably a lot of people that even make clothes and music. My differentiation, I'm already differentiating myself from other recording artists by making clothes. So that's one thing, and talking about philosophy content, of course. But I think this is a deliberate thing that all people that desire to do anything should think about. Because consider me, right? Consider the artists of the world, the recording artists. They either have, they could go about the way they present their brand in a few different ways. We could take Playboi Carti, for example. You could have that mysterious appeal where you don't really let the audience in on what you're doing. Or you could, be, I don't know, there's just a lot of ways to go about it, right? And what I'm saying is me, I feel like the way I'm presenting myself is more from a transparent perspective. That's kind of the positioning. So I want to distinguish what I mean by positioning and marketing, right? Because I think positioning is a part of marketing, of course. I mean, they teach this in marketing courses. But I think this is the most important P because, for me, like I said, I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. I have a blog where I talk about, in all my creative pursuits, exactly what I'm thinking and exactly how I approach that work of art from a creative perspective. And similarly, I think with this whole TikTok stuff and this YouTube stuff, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just offering all my thoughts transparently. And that's how I want to approach the game. You know what I mean? From a positioning perspective. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. So you want to have a deliberate way of how you want to approach it. And how does this relate to whatever you guys are going through, right? You guys are applying for jobs. You guys are doing a bunch of other things. You guys aren't just making clothes. You guys want to think about the category at large and then different ways of approaching that. That's what I'm saying. There are, say you're working a job like investment banking, for example. That's a relatable example to me because that's something I wanted to do as well at one point. You want to think about, when you're applying to these jobs, what is the story you're telling? What got you into banking? Why do you want to do it? Of course, it's for the money, right? we all do it for that in the corporate scene. But I think employers will appreciate you a lot more if you have a story to tell, if you have kind of a grounding philosophy in everything that you do. So that's that, right? I think, what was I gonna say? It's a lot more effective and it will save you a lot more time if you approach it in that way. Another thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about where I kind of come from, and just give you guys some insight. I want to give you guys some insight on what I kind of go through on a daily basis, right? What I'm thinking on a daily basis. That's kind of the idea. So for me, one thing you guys should know is I'm a very delusional person. And like I said, the rhetoric here is anyone that resonates with my message, and of course my future children. So everything I talk about is gonna be from kind of like a reflection perspective, like what I learned from something. So for me, I'm a very delusional guy. I have this my own journal in front of me right now, and you can see here. But yeah, I write a lot. For the past 2 years, I've journaled every day. And one thing you guys should know about me is I'm very delusional. And I am constantly daydreaming and constantly thinking of what I'm trying to go into, of the message I want to spread and all of that. And that's why not everyone is going to get even this video. Not everyone is going to get where I'm coming from right now. And I think that's kind of the leisure, or not the leisure, that's kind of the advantage that time gives you, the luxury I should say, because over time people will grow to resonate. If you think of like a marriage, people like either grow together or grow apart. I feel like in this case, people that are viewing this aren't gonna feel, oh my god, is that a hair on mine? Yeah, okay. People aren't gonna resonate that much at right now, and they won't fully get where I'm coming from when I say future children is the rhetoric and all that. But in time, say when those kids come, they'll understand, right? And when I say I want people to understand who I am, I think I want to tell you guys a little bit about, you know, like what is motivating all these things that I'm doing, right? Why am I making clothes? Why am I making music? Why am I going to college and studying finance and not arts? You know what I'm saying? And I think the more you guys understand that I'm just here to gather it all and pass it down, the more you guys will understand me and my mission, right? I want to, in the future, run something that helps brands creatively, and like, you know, through creative consultants like PG Lang or something like that, where we help with fashion, we help with music production, we help with set design, things like that. And the message I want to give you guys is you need that in your life. You need something that's guiding all your decisions, the way you eat, the way you act, the way what activities you be a part of. You need something that's gonna guide all those decisions. In my TikToks, I talk about it. I call it a North Star, and I say it over and over again. But my North Star, right, is those children in the future. The way I eat, the way I sleep, everything is manifested through the idea that I need to be there for my kids, and I need to pass it down very well. So the message I want to give you guys is, follow that North Star, identify one, and follow it very unapologetically. Like I said, people aren't going to get it. People aren't going to get me either. I've had a lot of people in my life call me weird. They think that what I'm doing is, it's from a dream world. It's not meant for guys like me, and even people in my demographic, right? Like Indian people. They, a lot of them can't really seem to wrap their head around a guy that looks like them making content like this on the internet. And I just want to let you guys know that's okay if people don't get it, okay? That is completely fine. Dude, I've done so much in my life, right? Like I've put out clothes, I've put out music, I've put out videos. I've done a lot of cool things, and I wouldn't have been able to do any of them if I thought about how people thought of me. I say this over and over again, but I think one of my greatest skills is being able to look stupid in front of a lot of people. Now, there are people that are going to watch this video and they'll think this is stupid. And you, and what you do, you have to be okay with that as well. People are going to think that streaming you playing video games is stupid. Like, why are you doing that? People are gonna think that you trying to be a chef when you grow up is stupid as well. But seriously, guys, from the bottom of my heart, I have completely chosen that I'm not trying to work corporate. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna follow my passion every single day, no matter what. That's why I'm making this video. So, like I said, I want you guys to just follow your passion unapologetically, dude. I'm reading this book right now called The Alchemist. It's a popular one, so I'm sure you guys maybe have heard of it. But in that book, it talks about the personal legend concept, and how everyone kind of, when they're on this world, they have something that they're pulled towards without their control. Like, this is when they get that, and when they get that thought, they feel it to be divine. They feel like God is kind of giving them this sort of idea, you know what I mean, to pursue. And what you'll realize is when you pursue it, you're given a lot of indication. They call it omens in the book, but you're given a lot of like almost subliminal messages from God that you're on the right track. And in my case, I feel like kind of blowing up on TikTok was my omen. You know what I mean? Because it's showing me that like it can be done. Where and I'm not saying I had doubts before, because really what you guys should know is I'm a very delusional person. Like I fully like believe in what I'm doing. So I did believe it before, or else I wouldn't have been posting. But really, that was like, to me, that growth was like kind of a message from God. Like, okay, like keep going. You know what I mean? Keep going at this. You're on the right path. And that's why I say follow your guys' personal legend, right? Follow what you feel like that calling for you is. Because I promise you, even if it seems like there's too much competition there and it's not meant for you, it probably is, bro. And I saw this TikTok that described it so well. It was an analogy, and it talked about how, consider a really tall guy, right? Like 7 foot tall guy. You would look at him and think, or he might tell you like, man, like, I want to go to the NBA, whatever, but I don't think I'm cut out for it. But you're looking at him and you're thinking, bro, you're 7 feet tall. Like, you have automatically a way bigger chance of doing good at this than a lot of other people. And the analogy is that that's a lot of people when it comes to their passion. You're like a 7 foot guy when it comes to that passion. You have a lot of opportunity to excel at that. And you're over here doubting whether you can do it, but from an outside perspective, dude, like, you have a lot of tools to be successful at that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I consistently encourage you guys to go all in with that. But yeah, you know, like I said, this channel is more for my long form. So everything is based off reflection. And it's for me to talk about stuff I'm doing and things like that, right? So I want to go back on that topic. What am I doing? What's this winter break? How's it going? So I go back to school on January 22nd. So I had a month-long break, and I believe I might be going to the studio today. I'm at the studio a lot. I'm just making new music, just posting about it consistently. That's kind of what's been just all it is, right? Some of these videos I make are gonna be a lot of me repeating the same stuff from the past week maybe, but you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I'm not here to really shape up my message in any way or choose the right thing to say. I'm just saying what it is, you know what I mean? And I really want to build an audience of people that are really forward thinking. I think that's the main thing. Like, I really want to build an audience of people that are very forward thinking. It's hard for me, you know, when you say this sort of thing in college that, oh, what motivates me is my future children, it comes off very pretentious, guys, believe me. Like, if I were to hear that from someone, I would naturally be skeptical. It sounds very like, yeah, okay, we get it. Like, you know what I mean? But truly, that's my lens, and I really want to find people through this platform, through my TikTok, through all my social pages, I really want to find people that resonate with that message. You know what I mean? Just maybe it's not future children, but the future in general. Just being forward thinking from a futurist perspective. Guys, I don't want to yap for too long because I don't want it to lose value, value per second, that per minute that you're getting from this video. But really, yeah, this video is meant to be my introduction. I'm not really going to edit these too much to take things out because I think everything should just be a stream of consciousness. But like I said, this video was to introduce myself. And again, I'm Abhiram Chaganty, second year finance student at Rutgers University. I'm currently in my own car in a park next to, by my local to my house, and I'm an artist. I'm working on putting out my art each and every single day. My philosophy is just to serve my future children in everything I do, in the way I act, sleep, eat, everything. And yeah, I want to come up with some outro for these videos. That's why I started this intro with like that intro, Abhiram Chaganty, the time where I'm sitting, because like I said, with that future rhetoric, I want these kids that I'll have to look at these videos and be like, he was here, he was going through this is the context, you know what I'm saying? So hope you guys learned a little bit about me. Let me think of this outro. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do. Let's say, okay, all right, hold on. I actually got it. We're just gonna say Abhiram Chaganty out. Okay? Keep it plain and simple. I know it's very basic, and with that, hopefully you guys learned a little bit about me. And with that being said, Abhiram Chaganty out.